Inside the Bryce Jordan Center for a historic performance from the man I am joined by. Welcome to the postgame show. Jalen Pickett, 41 points, the second most in your career, but the 40-point mark for a Nittany Lion has not come easy. The first Nittany Lion since 1961 to achieve that 41-point mark. How special was this performance for you?
Very special. I mean, coming off, a 4-game losing streak, just trying to get things going, see the ball going through the net. And, my teammates just kept telling me, take advantage of it, shoot it, and it just felt really good to get a win.
How special was it to get this win, to rally around behind your team, knowing that the wins have not come easy, with the last one being here in the BJC since Michigan?
It's very important, trying to get sweeps and, just get as many wins as we can before the Big Ten tournament is very important. We felt like we've been in some games and we let some games go. To see our offense kind of roll a little bit today is very important going forward.
What was the key to the offense rolling forward today?
Just our pace. We felt like we haven't been playing too fast, and that just kind of makes us stagnant, and people are able to stay connected to our bodies and not allow us to get, open shots down the floor. So today we just worked on really just moving with pace and trying to get out and get in transition a little bit.
And for your team, players like Kanye Cleary, Jameel Brown, both playing meaningful minutes. What did you see from the young guys in today's performance?
I love Kanye's aggressiveness, his aggressive mindset. He got a good game last game at Maryland, so he knew he was going to play today. So to see him grow and see him keep getting confidence is great. And Jameel's been having great practices all year, and he's finally getting his opportunity. He didn't play so well today that he felt, but he's in the gym right now getting better, and that's just what we need out of those guys.
What's your message to Jameel?
He's going to get another opportunity. He's going to come back to work the next day. Just keep working. He's going to get another opportunity. He's a great player. He's a tough kid. I can't wait to see how he grows.
This win against Illinois is the season sweep for you guys over the Fighting Illini. For those wins that don't come so easy in the Big Ten, how important is it to come away with a series sweep?
Very important. I mean, we got a couple games coming up next. We only play teams one time, so we know we got to get these wins and just stack them up. Illinois is a great team. They were ranked high, and they were hot coming into this game, so it just shows a good result from our team.
Your next opponent is going to be Minnesota, and then you're going to have all quad one opponents. With this being the third quad one win for you guys this season, how does this help the confidence moving on into the next quad one games?
It helps our confidence greatly. I mean, we feel like we can play with any team in the country. I mean, we were beating Purdue for a half, the number one team. So we feel like we can play with anybody. We just have to bring it every day, have confidence in ourselves, and just take it one game at a time, try and go 1-0 each time.
Jalen, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Best of luck in the next upcoming game against Minnesota. Penn State coming away with the 93-81 win over the Fighting Illini. And let's go through some of the stats in this one. Obviously, we mentioned Jalen Pickett with a historic performance. 41 points for him. The most points by a Penn State player in the BJC. Period. Incredible. Let's also talk a little bit more, as we mentioned to Jalen, first 40-point game since 1961 and the most scored by a Big Ten player this season. The last person that had that title was Zach Edey from Purdue, and as Jalen said, they held Purdue to a close one in the first half when they were at the Palestra and when they were at Mackey, and then obviously, we know what happened afterwards, but the Nittany Lions ultimately coming away with the win here, 93-81 over the Fighting Illini, taking the season series over the team in blue and orange, and a very important one, the third quad one win of the season for Penn State. And they also improved to 12-2 at home. The Nittany Lions love some home cooking, and the three ball, it goes off when they are here. Jalen Pickett leading the team with 41 points, as mentioned. Seth Lundy also had a great performance. 7 rebounds for him, 15 points in the day, and he started off the game really strong, stealing a pass by Illinois and ultimately throwing it down for the first basket, and it was a hammer of a dunk for Seth Lundy. And then Andrew Funk, Seth Lundy, transition threes back-to-back for them in that first half. The three ball was going for the Nittany Lions, having, I believe it was 11 three-pointers for them in this one. And this team lives and dies by the three ball, as Micah Shrewsbury always says, and they definitely turned the three ball into money here today. The bench also coming away, 20 points off the bench, 30 points in the paint for the Nittany Lions. So the baskets were not just coming from the three ball, 30 points in the paint and 17 points off of turnovers, which is very important, getting off the defensive side and going in to make the basket. And now we'll toss it over. We just heard from him. Let's hear from him one more time. Jalen Pickett at the podium with the local media.
Something to you at the free throw line. One, what do you say to you? And two, how does this feel?
He said something along the lines of "you're tough." He said some other words with that, but it was something along the lines of "you're tough." Those guys are cheering me on all game, just telling me keep going and keep attacking. And we were just trying to get out this 4-game skid, so it feels really good to get a win.
I was going to follow up on that, Jalen. This was a game you guys absolutely needed. How important was it to not only reach that milestone, but doing it a game that you needed?
Really important for us. Illinois is a good team. They have a positive record in the conference, so we know like going in we could beat anybody. So I think our mindset going in from now on is just try and go 1-0 and let the pieces fall where they may at the end.
Kind of going off that a little bit, how crucial is this game for not only yourself, the confidence of yourself, but the confidence of your teammates?
Very important. I mean, for losing 4 games, it's tough to get out of that, and people coming to practice sometimes, losing a couple games in a row, especially when you have like a really good team, and we had success early. So to put games back to back like that with losses was tough. But we had a really good couple days of practice, and our energy was good today and shoot around. Like I seen some smiles for the first time in a while, so I'm not surprised by the result.
Brad Underwood mentioned that they kind of let you walk into those 2 threes early, and that might have helped you get going. Did that help you get going, and how much does it help when you start really hitting early and keeping that momentum the rest of the way?
Definitely. I made my first couple shots, felt good, had a little bounce in my step, and I was just making shots, and coach just kept telling me, take my opportunities as they come. So I felt like they were trying to make me score a little bit today. They weren't really helping off, so if teams do that, I'm going to have to try and, make plays for myself.
So, Jalen, what exactly goes into a 40-point game? How much work throughout the week for that to go right? And then what's the biggest differentiator between how tonight felt for you versus the past few games?
I actually took this from John last year. Like no matter win, lose, or draw, John was always getting work in. So whether that was treatment on the court, off the court. So every day this week, I've really been trying to get in. Even on our off days, I'm going to come in and get treatment and just do like some free throws or something just to stay in that rhythm, stay in that groove. So I can credit John for that right there. But it just feels great, seeing your work go. I'm having a good year, and I hope to keep it rolling.
At what point in the game do you realize that this could be a special night for you, and how aware of you in game of your point total?
I actually didn't. At halftime, I had 20. So they told me at halftime I had like 20. So I just felt like right there I had it going, and my confidence was rolling right there. But you really don't try to look at that. I was just trying to keep going, keep expanding the lead, and hopefully I was trying to get out the game before like the 4-minute media at the end. But sometimes you just got to keep going.
Jalen, you guys got off to a hot start out of the gates, but Illinois stayed in it. It came to be a 25-22 game at one point, and then you scored all 8 points during an 8-2 run. What was kind of your mindset, knowing that you guys have come so close on so many occasions this season, but have come up short pretty often, knowing that you had the hot hand? What was kind of your mindset going into that game that that you could score at will?
Just keep attacking. Just, like I said, we were watching how they played. They changed up their defense a little bit from when we played them from before. So it was more denying handoffs, not hugging off shooters. So if danger was going to be in a drop, it was kind of like how they played with Kofi last year. So I knew I had to be a little bit more aggressive down there.
Micah has stressed you guys' defensive effort really over those 4 games. Did you feel like steps were made tonight in that department?
I feel like steps were made in spurts. Like when our offense is going, we play good defense. Like we want to get more stops because we want to get on offense. But when teams are scoring, we get maybe a little bit overwhelmed. Like we want to play a perfect possession every time. So I think our mental needs to get a little bit stronger for us to keep going. But we got time to fix that.
Has Chelsea or anybody else told you about the historical significance, how long it was since somebody scored 40?
Yeah, Coach Drew said it was like 1950. He said it, right? It was 1961, yeah, in the locker room.
So how do you wrap your head around that, knowing how many guys have actually played basketball here since then?
I'm just blessed. I thank God every day to, be able to play this game. That's why I walk around with a smile. I'm just so happy to be here, and, it's great playing with these guys.
Hey, what about a coach's decision to put you up top and put you in those ball screen actions and your ability to create switches? It seemed like you scored on every single guy on their team. Like your mind was working like a game of Tetris tonight. It's just you were a step ahead and could feel it. It would come back to you. Did you know you were going to have to break that down from the top the way you did rather than being posted up and facing doubles?
Definitely. Coach Shrew said after the last game he's going to try some different things, so we might get into that a little bit more. But I mean, I'm surrounded by great shooters, so it's hard for people to help anyway. And now Kanye and Cam are doing a great job getting downhill and putting pressure on defense. So then when people have to rotate out of that and I can play off closeouts, it's making my job a lot easier.
Jalen, you mentioned seeing a lot of smiles pregame for the first time in a while. What kind of caused that and allowed you guys to kind of free yourselves up a little bit mentally?
I think just going just talking about it, just talking about each and every game that we've played during this stretch, watching film. Like we've been implementing new clips of us doing good in some of these losses instead of just all bad clips. There's been a lot of good clips too. Like we're playing good basketball, even though we are on a losing streak. We're still doing some things good, and I think that was big for us. Just everybody having a positive attitude, showing that we're doing good things, and when we all get on the same page, we're gonna be a really tough team to beat.
Jalen, how important was it for you guys to get into the bonus with so much time left in the second half, and how much of a surprise was that to you?
It's been very important. We've been, talking about how we can draw more fouls. What can we do? Because we shoot a lot of threes. We don't really go to the basket a lot or whatever. So coach was like, if people jump in the air, we got to go into them and try and get into the bonus early because people are putting us in the bonus. So we just got to be more aggressive, put the pressure on other teams.
Jalen, it's obviously a really historical night. Has that kind of settled in, and kind of what made you be able to just kind of go off tonight?
I think, my first couple of shots were pretty wide open. I kind of got going. I got in a little bit of a rhythm. They were telling me before the game when we go through film that they were playing a certain defense. They were really hugging shooters and dropping. So once you see the ball go in a couple of times, you start feeling good. And I was just able to take advantage of the defense. And, when my teammates keep telling me to shoot and cheering me on, I mean, that's always a good feeling too. Thank you, guys.
A historic performance indeed for Jalen Pickett. Not only was it 41 points, which was the most scored by a Nittany Lion since 1961, 2,000 career points for Jalen Pickett achieved right before the end of the first half. Jalen not only has the 2,000 point mark, the only active player in Division I currently with 2,000 career points, 600 plus career rebounds, and 700 plus career assists. Jalen Pickett has been incredible for the Nittany Lions and has had an incredible career even before coming here to Penn State during his time in Siena, and obviously making an impact here for the blue and white. He's the nominee for the Bob Cousy Point Guard of the Year, and performances like today show why that is the case. And we know that it's been a struggle for the team to get to the free throw line. The team, Jalen, everybody capitalized on it and took advantage of it. And one of those people that drew all up those calls is Micah Shrewsbury. He's with the local media right now.
Very well. First off, I want to, when we did the moment of silence earlier before the game for Michigan State community and just everything that's going on there, hearing yesterday and hearing the next couple of days for them, it's something that you think about and you worry about, right? I got young kids and you see stuff that happens across the country, and it's one thing you worry about, right, as a dad. So just thinking about them, like everybody in that, whole East Lansing community and what they're going through. Like our guys, I told our guys, we get the benefit of playing a kid's game, man. It's fun. It's really fun. It's fun to compete. This league sucks to compete in, but it's fun. What we're doing, and adversity hit our team, and we had lost 4 games in a row. I told them if that 4-game, losing 4 games in a row is the worst thing that happens to you, you have lived a blessed life. Right? Some of our guys have things have happened worse than this to them here in the past few weeks. But this is basketball. This is what they care about. And this team, we're living in the moment. and I thought that they did a great job responding every single time. And same thing with the staff. Our staff has been great. I probably haven't been the easiest guy to kind of be around in the last couple of weeks, but they keep coming back. They keep motivating our guys. They keep getting ready for the next game. They keep asking me if I need something. Those guys have been special. So I just wanted to make sure I said something about, those guys as well and what they're doing. And I'm proud of our guys and proud of their effort.
Micah, for Jalen to have 41 tonight, how aware were you of that down the stretch of the game, and what did you see from him early that kind of allowed him to get into the groove?
I wasn't aware at all. You know he's going, right? But I never look at that scoreboard up top. And I never look at the box scores when they bring them at timeouts. So I'm just locked in on what I'm seeing throughout the game. I don't know what the exact numbers are. So, I got the box score at halftime, and I'm talking about, hey, we got to, I'm walking back to our locker room. I'm like, hey, we got to do this better. I think we can do this better. I think we can attack this way. And they hand me a stat sheet. I'm like, he's got 24 points. Wow. Right? And then I don't know what the crowd's cheering for at the end of the game. I have no clue. And then I look up. I'm like, he's got 40. So, that's special, man. Sometimes when you're going through it, you just need somebody special to have a special performance. And I think that's what he did. But not to downplay what some of the other guys did. I thought maybe they didn't score as much. Maybe they didn't rebound as much. But I thought their effort and some of the contributions we got from everybody was special.
Micah, how crucial was it for you guys to be able to bounce back and just regain some of your confidence just with a win like that?
These, I probably, I'll take all the blame for really how we played at Wisconsin. Maybe I need to be more positive with what we did and how we responded. But I thought our guys did an unbelievable job after that game of regrouping, of learning through their mistakes, and coming back and playing really hard at Maryland. We weren't crisp the whole 40 minutes, but I thought we did. The effort was there. Our execution was there for the most part, but it wasn't there for 40 minutes. But then when we came back, we've been playing where we haven't had a day off in a while because we've been playing back to back to back pretty quick, 2-day turnaround. When we came back Sunday after that game, there was you could see an air of confidence. And then we had a good day of practice. And then we came back yesterday and we had another good day of practice. And then when I walked down for shoot around today, and then throughout our shoot around, our spirit was great. Our spirit was great. Those guys they weren't broken. They weren't broken. They were together. They were ready to fight. They were ready to fight together. And I think that's the biggest thing is they didn't let anything affect them, right? That's, a sign of maturity. That's a sign of a group that's together. And like I said, I'm proud of those guys. They're winning despite their coach.
Michael, a lot of focus on Jalen, obviously scoring a bunch of points, but a couple things that were kind of a hallmark for you guys when you were playing well, not allowing points off turnovers and limiting second chance points maybe until the very end of the game. How important was that on this night?
Yeah, that was big against these guys. If you turn it over and they get out in transition, good luck to you, right? Terrence Shannon is as fast as anybody in this league getting the ball in transition, and then he started to push the ball in transition at the end of the first half after makes. So we had to sprint back and try and build walls, and it was a point of emphasis. You have to keep these guys out of the paint as much as possible. You can't allow them to get in transition. I thought limiting our turnovers was big. We had 7, but we had a couple late. Limiting our turnovers was huge, and then not letting them get offensive rebounds is huge because they can take shots and then they can just kill you on the glass. I thought we did a good job of boxing them out and limiting them to one shot.
It looked like you made some pretty significant rotational adjustments this time around. I don't think we saw Caleb or Dalian And then Jameel Brown also played pretty early on, and Kanye played a significant amount of time. Just wondering what went into some of those decisions.
Yeah, just trying to keep guys fresh, giving them small breaks here or there, trying to get it around the media so they get a little bit longer break. I think Dalian and Millsy will keep flip-flopping throughout the year, giving Funk that break, that few minutes that he needs. I think Caleb's got a chance to do it, right? But Hawkins is such a matchup that you have to play small against them. That's how we've decided we need to play. And then, Danger didn't play as much, right? So that limits like Keba, Mikey, Caleb, who can play against him. Hawkins is so good off the dribble, especially if he has a bigger guy on him, that we weren't willing to try and take that chance. So I think matchups dictate a lot of stuff in how we play. So Kanye, he played a lot against these guys the last time. He's played well the last couple of games, but we also need him to, because you need multiple guys that can handle the ball. So having him, having Pick, having Cam, you got two of those guys out there the whole time. So now, Terrence Shannon was hounding Pick at full court. So now one of those guys can bring it up, and it conserves his energy, right? Where he doesn't have to 94 feet against a good defender. It allows somebody else to do it. Now he can just get down the floor and conserve some of that for scoring and on the defensive end.
Mike, you drew some shooting fouls tonight and got to the bonus early in the second half. What were the differences that you felt in this game, and what difference did it make in the game being able to do that?
I think our guys kind of realizing how they played. They're one of the best shot blocking teams in our league. So trying to play off 2 feet, being disciplined and using shot fakes, whether it be on the perimeter or in the paint. And then, people are so focused on our threes, not letting us get threes. I think we have more people attacking the rim on drives. We have more people driving the ball, pick it down in the post. So trying to get some switches and get to the matchups that we wanted, where he was drawing those fouls. So, and then some of those were we got rebound. We got in the bonus early, and then we got a couple free throws, or had some free throws on defensive rebounds, just boxing out, being in the right spot, being strong with the ball. So it's helpful, right? Then you're not scrapping for every single point you get.
Yesterday you talked about Kanye after Saturday, needing to string together the practices and then needing to string together the games. From our perspective, it looked like he did that. What did you see? What did you, learn about him or see from him, yesterday into today?
Yeah, I mean, you play a game like he did at Maryland, right? And then you come out for walkthrough the next day and you're still not starting, right? How do you react to that? And he was okay with it. It was time to let's get back to work, right? Let's, I don't think he's got the air of I've arrived. He's still a worker. He's still a guy that there's a lot to learn. And sometimes it's beneficial for him to start the game on the bench, because now he can see how they're guarding stuff, right, in the moment. He doesn't have to do it in the moment right at the start of the game of they switch up a defense different than how we've practiced it. How do you react to that, right? Now he can sit and watch it for 4 to 5 minutes, figure out how people are guarding things. He can sit next to one of our assistant coaches and talk through it. So now he's better equipped, so when he gets in, he can do it, right? That's, the benefit of having Cam and Pickett, where they can react to things just because they play a lot. They can react to how, different matchups that they may start with, or different coverages, pick and roll, ball screen, whatever it may be. They can react to that in real time, and he'll be able to as well, the more games that he gets under his belt. So he's had a good couple of days. We need him to keep doing it, right? He's given us a different element because of how people are staying on, they're trying to take Funk away. They're trying to take Seth away with, I would too, right? Because of how well they shoot it. It's leaving some driving lanes at the rim, and that's one of his strengths, is getting by people and getting to the rim.
Micah, you had mentioned needing to be more positive, and Jalen mentioned that the film sessions were more positive recently. What spurred that change, and what made you do that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think, like I said, just trying to learn in different ways, how this team, how they react to certain situations. We've been known to have success and then let our foot off the gas. But we also, we respond to positivity and negativity in different ways. Not everybody's the same. So how Pickett responds to something might be different for Funk. How Seth responds to something might be different than Kanye or Keba. So you just got to find that. You got to find that balance of what they need, how you talk to them, and how they are leading into it, right? Like I said, our spirit's been great the last couple of days. So I can have a positive film session with them and showing them what we need to do and where we're getting better, and they're reacting to it in the right way. So it's all a learning process, and we're just going to keep learning. We're just going to keep staying together as a group, fighting through whatever comes next, and just keeping this thing one game at a time.
Jalen, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but basically acknowledged being a feel-good defensive team, right? When shots are falling, it's easier to play defense. How are you grappling with that at this point in the season, and where are they in terms of the development that you'd like to see on that end of the floor?
Yeah, I thought the things that we worked on in practice the last 2 days and emphasized, I felt like we did a better job of doing it. Right, that's our biggest issue right there, is having carryover, but then having the discipline to do it every single time. And I thought for the most part we did it. There's still some things that we can get better at, we can clean up. But this team's a hard team to guard. Just because they have so many guys that can make plays off the bounce, they got guys that can shoot threes, they can score in the post. So we did they challenge you. They challenge you, and they challenge your principles. But I thought we tried to do what we were supposed to do. And a couple of times we didn't quite have that discipline at the end. But it's something we can watch and we can learn from. And now, when we're playing Minnesota, let's do the same thing. Let's be a little bit better at those things and that we weren't good at, and let's correct those and let's continue to play at the highest level that we can defensively.
Thank you.
Shout out to everybody that's going through Thon this weekend. Dancers, all the dancers that are going through it. Good luck to you. Everybody that's going to be here in attendance. Raise a hell of a lot of money again. Good luck to everybody.
What an awesome message there to end off Coach Micah Shrewsbury's press conference, giving some love to the Thon dancers. And love was not the only thing that was in the air here tonight at the Bryce Jordan Center. There was an air of confidence, as Coach Micah Shrewsbury said. The team, despite a couple of losses, as Jalen Pickett said during his postgame press conference, they saw good things. They talked out each and every game, and because of that, they were able to come away with the win. And that's why Coach Shrewsbury said that spirits were high all throughout shoot-around. The film reviews were great, and the team ultimately coming away with a 93-81 victory over the Fighting Illini. And you can see there on the corner of your screen a little bit, the players are still out here, still getting up some shots. I just saw Mikey Henn and Kanye Cleary walk off the court. Jalen Pickett there, right by where the 93 is, talking with his family after a historic 93-81 performance where Jalen Pickett scored his 2,000 career point, once again being the only active Division I player with 2,000 points, 600-plus rebounds, and 700-plus career assists. And that's why the Bob Cousy Point Guard of the Year is a nominee for that title, and he showed it here today. The Nittany Lions improving to 12-2 right here inside the Bryce Jordan Center, where Jalen Pickett now has the title of scoring the most points inside this very arena for the Nittany Lions at 41. And that'll wrap it up here on our post-game show. So the Nittany Lions will go on the road to the Twin City and battle it out with the Golden Gophers of Minnesota, and then they'll follow that up with a road visit to Columbus before returning home here on the 26th of February against Rutgers. That'll do it here for our post-game show. I'm Zach Gershman signing off for Go PSU Sports.